a proposal focused on rebuilding the nation's infrastructure and improving working conditions across the economy. The White House has stated that the plan would invest $2 trillion over 10 years and focus on three major areas: investments in physical infrastructure, improvements to working conditions for those in the care economy, and righting the injustices of past housing. Now, investments focused in physical infrastructure like roads and bridges also included funding to increase the resilience of the nation's transportation system and energy grid to climate change, provisions to improve access to clean water and reduce air, and other forms of environmental pollution were also included. The American Jobs Plan had also included the extension of benefits to workers of the care economy. The bill had also included measures that would send aid to communities who were broken up or left out of major infrastructure projects. Folks, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act is smaller and neither completely eliminated or cut funding significantly for many of these initiatives. For example, of the $111 billion the American Jobs Plan allocated for water infrastructure, only $50 billion was included in the bipartisan package. Folks, I just want to see our politicians in Congress, the Democrats and the Republicans, they must send out the fourth stimulus check and help out the good American people. And if you guys agree with me, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Now, Joe Biden has not ruled out sending Americans a fourth stimulus check. Rumor has it that Biden is still considering a fourth relief payment. According to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said he's open to a range of ideas when it comes to the American Jobs and Families Plan. Some lawmakers have pushed for a fourth direct payment. The first stimulus check amounted to as much as $1,200, with the second stimulus check bringing eligible Americans a $600 check. The third stimulus check, which the IRS is still in the process of distributing, is worth up to $1,400 per person, although the eligibility requirements are narrower. All three checks give the full amount of taxpayers who made up to $75,000 a year, according to the most recent tax returns. And folks, the third stimulus check timeline happened rather quickly following Biden's inauguration. In response to President Biden's American Jobs Plan, a group of 21 senators sent a letter urging the inclusion of stimulus checks in the legislation. The group called for recurring payments as long as the crisis lockdown continued. And Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren said, "We urge you to include recurring direct payments and automatic unemployment insurance extensions tied to economic conditions in your Build Back Better plan." Folks, do you agree with Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Elizabeth Warren? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
Call me Studer. Alright, we're gonna try to keep this short and sweet, but we have a lot of people here, but that's actually a very good sign. But everyone's gonna be very brief in our remarks. Some of us potentially are leaving town today. We expect to be coming and going, depending on what transpires in the next week. But we wanted to call all you together. Thank you for being here. The group gathered here today are the pragmatic, rational, policy-oriented people that are trying to get to the yes and trying to get the policy right. And I got to tell you how proud I am of all my House colleagues and our Senate colleagues who have done so much work, really, from the first iteration to the definition, to Phase 2, which was the scope, and Phase 3, the paid fors. Our Senate colleagues have really picked up the ball recently and done a lot of hard work, a lot of work behind the scenes that most of you have not seen or been aware of, but they all really deserve a lot of credit, including John Cackle and Connor Lamb, our House co-leads on infrastructure. So basically what we're here to say.
In the amount of your rent rebate depends on your half income. Half Social Security income cannot be excluded from the calculation. For example, if you receive $20,000 of Social Security, you may only count $10,000 as your income to qualify for the rent rebate. Folks, renters with an annual income of $8,000 or less will receive a rent rebate of $650. So hopefully this can help people out within the stimulus cash. There are billions of dollars in unclaimed money available. Checks are being distributed in varying ways, amounting from 50 to even $10,000. And now, 1 in 7 Americans qualify right now for some extra money. And now, according to Yahoo News, billions of dollars of unclaimed property is being held by state governments for safekeeping, just waiting for Americans to reclaim what's rightfully theirs. And like a giant lost and found, state treasuries look for financial assets, including missed paychecks and utility refunds they've abandoned or forgotten by their owners. Now, often people don't realize that they have unclaimed property but Oregon Treasurer Tobias Reed has announced the agency's plan to return approximately $10 million in unclaimed funds as part of the Checks Without Claims initiative. The effort will be the largest mass disbursement of funds by Oregon's unclaimed property program to date. Checks distributed will vary in varying amounts from $50,000 to $10,000. And the New York State Comptroller's Office is also currently holding $18 billion in everyday people's lost money, and it returns $1.5 million to people who file claims daily. And a lot of people are missing out on lots of claim filings. There are over $7 billion sent to go to people in June, and even more is coming. The Biden administration has also approved $20 million in investments to help finance clean energy projects, including installing electric vehicles, charging stations, retrofitting homes to make them energy efficient, and providing communities with battery backup power. Senior officials have said that the investment across 2 grant competitions aims to help communities that have faced historic underinvestment. Even Kamala Harris touted the investment Friday afternoon during an event. She said that the climate crisis is one of the most urgent matters, touching on how the communities in the U.S. are facing droughts, flooding, and even wildfire smoke. The 2 competitions, the National Clean Energy and Clean Communities Investment Accelerator, will allocate $14 to $6 billion for the projects, and the funding is part of the EPA Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. It will help so many people, folks. Plus, the White House said that both competitions will focus funding on low-income and disadvantaged communities, including the rural communities. At least 40% of funds in the $14 billion competition and all of the funds in the $6 billion competition will flow to these communities. Kamala Harris even said that the investments will help families' budgets by improving energy-efficient systems and public health by promoting that will boost Social Security to the public sector workers with government pensions who currently see limited return benefits. The bill has gathered around 290 co-sponsors and a threshold that could allow its backers to force a vote on House floor and offer leverage as they work to get through the chamber. Under the House rules, the bills with at least 290 co-sponsors can be put on the consensus calendar, a process that allows rank-and-file members to force widely backed bills to the floor if the committee of jurisdiction won't take it up. It was referred to as Ways and Means on January 9th, and the panel has scheduled a meeting to consider it. Now, according to congressional research data, it would actually aid more than 90,000 people in the state of Louisiana. Even representatives are a notable voice for the GOP conference after helping a broker debt limit agreement on Kevin McCarthy and build consensus among Republican members. But now they're aiming to boost Social Security payments for public workers and government pensions and things like this for people who have jobs covered by Social Security taxes. Now, the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset reduce Social Security payouts and spousal benefits for employees in an effort to avert highly unfair payouts. And groups representing retired teachers, police officers, and state and local employees say the reductions go too far and unfairly punish the public savants. But so far, everybody, here's what Joe Biden has to say about this. The bill would actually rack up 305 co-sponsors in the last Congress under Democratic control of the House, but Ways and Means Committee held a markup as a means of weighing to turn off the consensus calendar. The panel's leaders at the time tried to broker a deal on a scaled-back version, but those talks ultimately fell through. Even this year's bill, co-sponsors have flocked to the bill more quickly, giving people more time to decide what they want to see.